Okay, come with us now on a journey through time and space to the world of the mighty Boosh. We're gonna rank all the episodes with the tier list. That's what the kids do these days. They do tier lists. What we got here is all the episodes, some tours. We got a mystery tier for the shit I don't remember. We got Nah Man for the shit that I wish wasn't in the show. We got A for all the episodes that aren't S and Super S. Crack Fox with this little trumpet and his bin bag bitches. Oh, Crack Fox. I'm gonna make you wear a little dress and hurt you. I say that a lot. I say that to myself. We got Vince in a Joan Jett jumpsuit. We got King Arthur, Vincey Princey, Howard doing jazzercise in his terrible bubble glasses. And we got Vince doing a gesture and reuniting with his husband. Beautiful stuff. Call the Yeti. Never fear, everything is here, and you don't need your friends or family. Yeti's really good. Yeti is like the introduction to the non-Zooniverse, Boosh-niverse. There's not that many laughs in it, I feel like, compared to the other episodes, with the exception of Howard saying, "This is my home now." But that whole sequence with the Yetis and the hypnotism, really, really strong. There's like a 5-minute chunk that's just, ooh, pure magic. Parsley. And there's also a Jaws reference where Vince lifts up his shirt and we see his hair straightener scar. So that's pretty wicked. Fountain of Youth is another one that I feel like is not that funny, but it's really whimsical. It's got some lore about Naboo, where he came to Earth in 1978, I think, and he's an alien. We got Wizard of Oz homages. We have that scene where Howard is Vince's slave. Noel apparently read fan fiction based on that scene and enjoyed it quite a bit. I'm gonna give it... I don't watch it as much as Crack Fox or Yeti, so I'm gonna put it in A. Journey to the Center of the Punk. I used to not watch this a lot because I felt really sorry for Howard because Vince ate his record, but it's really funny, the whole opening where Vince is like trying to prove that he's a punk, that he belongs in the punk world by saying he's angry at global warming. Vince has 2 brain cells. He's got male brain cell and female brain cell, and together they make one non-binary icon, Vince Noir. Inside of his brain is even playing Electro Boy, Electro Girl. Electro Boy, I am Electro Girl. And also, it's romantic as fuck. Howard gets in there. He crimps with Vince's cells. They know him. They recognize him on a cellular level because they're so in love. There's an insane part where Vince's male brain cell says that he swings both ways but isn't interested in Howard. And it's got some outlandish special effects. Lester Cornflakes is really funny, and Howard wears a nice jacket. I'm gonna put that into S. We are the mutant race. Don't look at my eyes, don't look at my face. Mutants is like, I would say it's on the lower end of the season 1 episodes. They're still figuring their shit out. I don't think they quite had the pacing and everything until the 3rd episode, Bollo, which we will get to. Mutants, it's a fun time. It's got more Matt Berry. It's got the really cute moment where Vince comes in and pretends that he's not gonna rescue Howard because Howard won't admit that he's been kidnapped. There's a part where Howard grabs Vince's face that's pretty solid. It's okay. It's good. You know, it's Boosh. I'm gonna put it in A. Live at Brixton, I assume is what this is. I'm gonna have to put this in question mark because it's been a while since I've seen it. I'm sorry. I really enjoyed it when I watched it, though. I remember that. I especially enjoyed the encore with Old Gregg. Isolation. Milky Joe is really interesting. I've had it described to me as the Mac and Dennis move to the suburbs of the mighty Boosh. It's just Howard and Vince trapped on an island. Howard slowly loses his mind. Vince is mostly okay. And they talk to coconuts. They're like placed in this romantic setting, but Howard just can't move past that mental block to take advantage of the situation. Glass half full, glass half empty. Vince and Howard. Interesting character piece. Vince looks fucking great in that leaf outfit. And apparently Vince cuts Howard's hair in the middle of the night. So that's sick.
What?
Once again, like season 2, there's like funny parts in all these episodes, but none of them, I mean, it's fine. It doesn't have to be like every single second of the episode you're laughing. But when I think of like really funny moments in the show, I tend to think more of stuff from season 1 and 3, but still really good. Love Milky Joe. The real Nightmare of Milky Joe is you get trapped on an island for months and he still won't fuck you. So that's gonna go in S. Oh my god, Tundra. I'm just gonna shoot that right up to Super S. Flawless concept. They keep going back to it. There's like the second OG live show they did in the 90s. It plays a big part in the Brixton live show, and there's a whole radio show episode of it because it's just a classic. It's just a classic story. You know, Howard goes to the Tundra. He's miserable. Vince is having a good time. They wear fantastic outfits. Howard says, "I love you." Vince starts laughing. Dancing with the polar bear. Howard saying, "Leave me here to die. Leave me to die. My friend is dead." Oh, we love a good Howard in Mourning. You got Matt Berry again with Bob Fossil, his little boyfriend. Total Eclipse of the Heart. It's just so well paced. It might be my favorite episode. It just seems so well refined because they've been working on the story for so long. They got it down. They know what they're doing with Tundra. And the Tundra rap is like top tier Mighty Boosh. Tune. Good job, Julian. Way to go. Fucking love Tundra. Oh my god, party. Oh no, we're already at party. We're at party so soon. Look at this little thumbnail with them holding hands with their female non-characters. I always think of Party as the last episode. It's not the last episode that broadcast, but it must have been planned as being the last episode because it just seems like such an obvious conclusion to the show. They kiss, they fall off the roof, they land on a bouncy castle that represents Vince's undying love for Howard and makes up for Howard's childhood trauma, and they have a party with all of the side characters from the show. To wrap it all up, it has to be the last episode. You have to watch it as the last episode. It does kind of ruin the show in a way because up until Party, Howard and Vince being an item or whatever they are, it's all in the subtext. Neither here nor there. But Party brings that all to the forefront and makes it text. And it kind of fucks everything up because they start feeling like real characters in like a drama. The moment where Howard says, "I might go gay," it's a cold shower. It's a splash in the face. It's a shocking experience after 19 episodes of dickery and fuckery and haha, they're married, haha, he's my wife, haha, he's my husband, haha, ugly girlfriend. Well, now it's real. I love it, but it also kind of fucks some things up, but it does make them pretty fucking canon in my books. And Howard doesn't take back his rooftop, I'm a massive gayist. When they fall off the roof back down to the bouncy castle and that girl comes in, Howard doesn't say to Vince, "I'm not gay." He says the timing was off. Whatever the fuck that means. I kind of want to put it in Super S just because it's so fucking crazy. Like, as an episode, I don't think it's the funniest, but it's so fucking necessary to watch. It just explodes your brain. It's a brain exploder. You watch this on Mega Upload when you're 13 and you don't know that you like girls yet and you start bleeding out of your nose and onto the floor, and that's Party. So because of that, I have to put it in Super S. I just gotta. Bollo! This episode rules. I love the death guys. I love the skeleton handshake. This is like when they really like start getting in the groove. They find their footing. Bollo is like the first great episode. Really classic Boosh story. Similarly to Tundra, Howard gets in trouble. Vince has to go save him. That's how the show works. The final song. Don't be cynical. It's fall, call miracle. It's okay. It's not the best Boosh song in my opinion. I feel like it goes on a little bit long.
Shut up, I say!
Mr. Susan, fucking amazing. It's time for you to do the choosing. Vince stepping through mirrors to go find Howard in other worlds. Pure romance. Howard's funeral is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my whole life. Howard Moon VIP. Super S for you. Future Sailors Tour. I've never seen it. I've never seen it because I don't want to see it, because when I see it, that means that I will have no more live shows to see. And I can't handle that. I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's really good. Oh, I'm scared. This fixation has to be the one though. I gotta do it. This fixation. I promise. Charlie! Oh my god, Charlie's really good. Charlie's going in S. There is so much flirting in Charlie. Season 1 might be my favorite because even though it's technically shiter, even though it's technically worse, directing wise, blocking wise, as a Howard's advocate, it's like still in radio show format where it's just a scene of Howard and Vince talking, another scene of Howard and Vince talking, a scene of one of them talking about Fossil, another scene of Howard and Vince talking. So it'll just cut from Howard and Vince sitting in one location to another scene of Howard and Vince sitting in another location and still doing their gay little banter. It's amazing. They just sit on a bench next to each other. In the other seasons, they'll be like standing and you'll have your typical coverage of like A, B, shooting. But in season 1, they just sit on a bench side by side and you watch. It's like a play. It's much more like a play, which makes sense because of their background. Howard's stapling the kittens to his forehead, hilarious. Them in the zookeeper's hut where Howard is trying to write and Vince is distracting him. So gay, so funny, so flirty, so fresh, so fly.
Howard. Howard.
I'm gonna take a little bit of points off because that Charlie costume is... Man, like, you can just see the feet kicking around underneath that thing. Like, surely they could have put it on, like, a skateboard or something. Power of the Crimp! Super S.
I don't need him. I've already got a shallow mate who dresses like a futuristic prostitute. Thanks, Howard.
Power of the Crimp is like, you can only appreciate it after you have watched the rest of the show. It's very meta. It analyzes their relationship. It's so sweet. The whole opening where Howard is saying to Vince, bad things can't happen to him because they have to happen to Howard. What is that? What is that? I'm getting upset. I'm getting upset. On some level, he's okay with that. He feels like bad things have to happen to them, so they must happen to Howard. Really sad, but awesome. We got Harold Boone and Lance Dior. The part where Harold helps Lance out of the shop by grabbing his ass. Mwah, mwah, chef's kiss. Apparently they share one bedroom. Howard and Vince have one bedroom, it seems like, from what they said. And inside that bedroom at night, they crimp and they throw satsumas at each other in their underwear, which we get a taste of in the end credits. My only critique of Crimp is that there's credits playing over them throwing oranges at each other, so I can't use those shots in music videos. Killeroo! I don't really like the look of that fucking kangaroo. It's so gross. I mean, it's funny because it's gross, but oh my god, it's a lot to handle. It's a lot to handle for the very first episode of the show, I'll say that. I think they should have put Bollo out in front, made Bollo the first episode, but I'm not a TV exec in 2004, so I don't know. Killeroo, it's got a lot of cute parts, a lot of funny bits. We got Captain Cabinets trapped in cabinets, and we got Howard calling Gideon a bitch, and then calling her a nice bitch. I'm not really interested in boxing as a genre. But the ending where Howard wants to keep fighting the kangaroo shows like a kind of strength in his character. It is not obvious a lot of the time because Howard spends a lot of the time, you know, running away from monsters and threats. But he's a strong boy. He's a strong boy. And he will fight that kangaroo, even though it's killing him, for the love of a lesbian woman who's going to run off with a panda. I'm gonna put Killeroo in A. I'm sorry, I love you, babes. Just because I don't rewatch it that much. Okay, so we have our first Nah Man. It's pretty bad. It's not funny, guys. It's not funny. It's not funny. Why do you think it's okay to do? I don't know. It makes it really hard to recommend this show to people because you got all the fucking blackface. The opening scene from this episode is so cute and funny. Vince makes Howard a corduroy suit that he can put his library cards and change in, and he loves it. Howard looks amazing. It's like the best he ever looks in the whole show. And then the rest of the episode is this shit and this shit. I've only seen this episode twice. I rewatched it recently, and there's only one joke from the Rudy and Spider segment that I laughed at, and that was, you can't make milk into cheese. So that's gonna go in Nah Man. Not worth it. Don't watch it. The Hitcher. Let me put you in the picture. Come in the dead of night with the solo polo vision. The Hitcher's great. There's such a long stretch of time in classic first season fashion of Howard and Vince just sitting in the van talking to each other, and it's fucking great. That's how turtles eat. Howard making Vince listen to jazz, forcing him at gunpoint, Bob Fossil's brief crush on Naboo. Really funny stuff. And the introduction of the Hitcher, which is perhaps the show's greatest villain, at least the most recurring villain. I'll put an S. I love Hitcher.
I might have to have a little sleepy. What?
Eels, holy fuck. Eels is so funny. It wasn't until this recent fixation that I quite realized how funny Eels is. Eleanor?
You have a very smooth pitch.
Thank you very much.
Is that your real body?
I think about it all the time. I cried laughing. I cried. She came on screen and I cried. Yeah, you know, it's the mid-2000s. It's comedy. It's edgy, whatever, kind of. I mean, the Hitcher pisses in Howard's face and I'm laughing. Eels, Give It Up Now. Eels remix. That's some good Boosh music. That's... I kind of want to put it in Super S. I think it might be one of the funniest episodes. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Super S. Is she like that boy? Oh, Hitcher. Oh, young Hitcher. Young, sexy Hitcher who went into the Fountain of Youth and restored his vitality. Electro. Well, it's got the spirit of jazz. Soda Center the punk. It's got Electro Boy. I'm Electro Girl. The struggle with the Mighty Boosh is that it's so fucking queer and iconic, but you gotta trudge through racist crap to get there. I love when Vince says, fuck the zoo. I thought you wanted to help the animals. I want to help them all to die. You know, I'm gonna demote it. I enjoy it, but I don't rewatch it as much as Crack Fox, all these. And I can't even really say it's Spirit of Jazz's fault because Center of the Punk is here. Old fucking Gregg.
Hi there.
Oh my god, baby boy, baby. Old Gregg was my introduction to the Mighty Boosh. I first learned about it from a reenactment of Love Games done by girls in my Jewish summer camp. And I was like, what is this? I don't think the camp counselors knew either, or else they probably wouldn't have let them do it. Yeah, I went home, I googled that shit. There was like a YouTube video of a bit of the episode, and I've been lost in the sauce ever since. Old Gregg is a trans icon. He's got a mangina. He's just looking for love. He's similar to Crack Fox in a way where they're both incredibly horny, but the Crack Fox wants power. He has ulterior motives. He wants to bang Vince, but he also wants to rule the world. Old Gregg doesn't want to rule the world. Old Gregg has the funk. He could rule the world with music, but he doesn't. He just stays in his hole and he waits for handsome men to fish him, and then he begs them to marry him, and who can't relate? I feel like Gregg represents queer shame. If Vince is the cool, proud, outgoing side of being queer, old Gregg is how you feel when you have a crush on your friend and you feel like a complete fucking monster. You feel like a gross, grimy fish man who lives in a hole who no one will ever love. You say, here's my art. Do you like it? Do you like it? How do I make you like me? Can you love me? Will you ever love me? Can you ever love me? It's so fucking sad. Howard Vince all the way, but I'm really happy that old Gregg got that win at the end of the Brixton Live show. He really deserved it. No, he didn't, but I can't help but feel for the guy.
You get what you want. Old Gregg gets what he wants. A strong man to hold me at night.
I'm putting him in S. I love you, King. Fucking chokes. Oh, I don't watch this a lot. This episode is to me an anomaly. It must be because Richard Ayoade was on the writing team for this one. I say team, I just mean he was in a room with Julian and Noel, and he was probably having a really, really hard time pitching things to their hive mind. And what came out of that collaboration is something that doesn't really feel like the same show. It's not quite as funny as the rest of the episodes, I feel. It feels a little off. There's like beats and moments that are funny, but like there's things that just feel really wrong. Naboo kills two human beings in this episode. Chill ass stoner Naboo. I don't like that Vince is like self-harming to fit into pants. I think that's going too far. I love the Lars von Trier, Werner Herzog director guy. He's funny. I like when he turns to the camera and in the lower thirds is his name. And suddenly it's a documentary. Everywhere he goes is a documentary. I don't think that Howard's like gallop around the stage in his tights is funny. I'm sorry, this feels so negative, but And also, that actor guy that Noel plays is the worst, the worst, like, magical creature / supporting cast member that this show has. And it pisses me off because it was broadcast as the last episode. It's like the ultimate anticlimax. So I'm actually gonna put it in Nah Man because I never freaking watch it. It's not problematic, I just never watch it because I don't think it's very good. I think it's not very good. I'm sorry. I will say that it does have Howard walking in on what he believes is a blowjob from Bollo to Vince, which is really funny. Jungle! Ooh, Jungle is another one with blackface in it. I would say it's probably the weakest of season 1. I watch it the least. Tommy Nuka is funny because Rich... Tommy Nuka is funny because Rich Fulcher is funny, but the cheese head is, it creeps me out. I don't know. The wolves are cute, but they don't get any lyrics to their song, which is kind of sad. At least Charlie, the song is like, Charlie, come, he's become a nightmare. It's something. Even if you just said wolf over and over again while they're dancing. Wolf, 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 wolf. The best part of the episode is when Vince asks Howard if he loved Tommy and if he kissed him. Which is really good. But I think it's the weakest of season 1. Nanageddon is, I'm gonna put in this. And you know what? I regret this. No. Fuck. I don't know. I'm gonna bump Fountain of Youth and I'm gonna bump Nanageddon up here. Remember when I said season 1 is my favorite season and then I put four of the fucking episodes down here? What am I doing? Okay, Nanageddon, it's what I like to call a two of them, two of us episode, which means that Vince is trying to get Howard to pursue women with him. They're just there to kick off the story, get them to summon Nanageddon. Really cute outfits on Vince. Glamour Nana is a classic. Obsidian Blackbird McKnight. I like when Howard stands up and his whole ass is hanging out. The bingo sequence is really good. Vince looks really cute when he's trying to win those shoes. And they sit down together on the couch in a gay way. And that's why I'm putting it in S. Okay, so there you go. There you have it. Let me just kind of review this one more time to myself. Yeah. I'm gonna put them back down. I'm gonna put them in A. I'll put them in A. They're both good, but they're not quite as watchable as the rest of the ones in S. These are hot fire. There you go. If you watched it, thanks, or whatever. Fuck you. Maybe I'll do another one. Fuck it, no. Okay. Bye.